Hello, we're back!
We're back!
Yay! Several things have happened since our last video. We made raisin bread.
Yes!
Why did I have to stop to think about that? It was raisin bread, and it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, we didn't film it. We just wanted to do it.
Yeah, and then we also made hummus twice. The first batch I thought was very successful. The second batch, I got a little bit confused at the grocery store and bought Great Northern white beans. And so we had to mix those with garbanzo beans.
To be fair, the cans of garbanzo beans and the cans of Great Northern white beans are practically indistinguishable, except for
the words that say garbanzo and great white beans. Anyway, so we've been doing some cooking and baking just to kind of keep our our skills up.
To go with that raisin bread, we also made cinnamon butter with maple syrup. Not bad.
It's very good. So anyway, along with that, and of equal importance, the Olympics started, and we've been watching some of that. And they have those little, what they call packages, where they show the athletes and their journeys. And we thought we would take you along on our journey from the last video to this one. So,
yeah, it's been a journey.
So we did talk about the things that we baked and the stuff that we assembled and made, and the relative success, And I also want to say that this recipe today came out of something, and I don't know if I've even told you this, but I was looking up.
Is this part of our journey?
This is part of our journey,
right here.
Yeah,
you're seeing it in
that
real time.
moment. I looked up cooking with cream of wheat because I have been completely obsessed with cream of wheat, and I was thinking, do they have cream of wheat cakes or cream of wheat cookies? And nah, they don't particularly. So then I thought, well, what are some other basic kitchen foods? God, I wish my vocabulary were better. Anyway, and so I thought, what can you do with mayonnaise? Can you cook with mayonnaise?
What a crazy idea.
Insane. So we're gonna do something today. We're gonna make a yellow cake with chocolate frosting. And in the cake, but not the frosting, we're gonna use mayonnaise.
What?
And then later, this very evening, Josh will and Maureen and Steve Tubbs are gonna come by, and we're gonna have them taste it, and we're not going to let them know about this secret ingredient.
Secret ingredient.
Yeah, and then their journey will be part of our journey, and then we'll hear what they think, and we'll see if it's a success. The other thing too is one of the things about the raisin bread. It was good. It was
I thought it was
good.
delicious.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Dense. And so we're going to try to see if we can't fight or I'll speak for myself because it's my journey and yours, and together we have our own. But I'm going to see if I can't, if I can make the cake perhaps lighter than some of the other denser things we've made.
Sounds like a journey that I want to go on.
You guys ready?
A journey of density, propensity, intensity.
I'm glad you got that third rhyme. I can't even think of the word for food. Let's go.
So Jim, did we get anything new this week in the mail?
It's weird that we did. Let me see. So from Lori Miller, we got a
Sifter.
Right, a sifter. Yeah, that was funnier in our minds than it actually played out.
She's gonna love it.
She's gonna love it. So we got this. Thank you, Lori, for this sifter.
Beautiful.
I've been calling it a snifter all week. And we also got a special set of measuring cups from Anne-Marie Bossert that we're going to see when we make the frosting.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so do we have some ingredients laid out? Tell me what we got.
So we have our milk, we have our salt, we have the vanilla extract, we have the baking powder, we have the mayonnaise, we have sugar, which is this is not the confectioner sugar, but
No.
we're going to be using that for the frosting. The flour and just the usual stuff.
Yeah.
So
Great. Sounds like a simple cake recipe.
Seems pretty simple, but you know what they say about simplicity.
It's a fool's paradise.
I don't know. Okay. All right, good.
Well, I'm super excited to get to use this beautiful sifter from Lori Miller. Everything in here: flour, baking powder, and salt, and we just turn the little knob and it sifts away. I feel like Julia Child. Look at that. Combined like magic. So, Jim, I sifted the dry ingredients together. What do you have there in that bowl?
All right, so I'm looking right here. We have
Sugar?
we have sugar, and the it looks like it says 11 and a half cups of sugar. It's 1.5 cups of sugar. We have half a cup of Duke's mayonnaise, and that's for Anne-Marie Bosser.
Anne-Marie, Duke's, inside joke.
Sticker. And then we added 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise instead of the eggs.
Wow.
Yeah, so here we go.
And then Eisenhower just knocked the tripod.
And then we also have
Stop doing that.
1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm gonna
Oh, wow, he's really being aggressive.
I'm gonna whip this thing up.
Go for it.
Here we go.
Good job blending, Jim. That looked
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank
Say, our audience probably wants to know, what else have we been up to the last few weeks?
Good question, Dennis. Oh, and look, there's Eisenhower.
Hey, Eisenhower, can I pick you up? Would you get super mad? Oh, come here. Come here, baby. Yes. Oh, tell me all about it. Okay, here, wait. Everybody wants to see you. Ha ha ha. Okay. All right. Now tell us what we've been up to.
We've been working on our second Honey Wine album. The music by Dennis Curley.
The lyrics by Jim Robinson.
We've been in the studio,
We
laying down some tasty rough mixes.
Yeah, so we're going to Wild Sound Recording Studio in Northeast Minneapolis. My favorite place. I love it. I highly recommend it. And we've had, so far we're just doing scratch vocals, and we've had an incredible number of great musicians: piano, bass, drums, guitar, fiddle, mandolin, banjo, Eisenhower.
And so while we continue to prepare the rest of the batter, we're going to give you a little taste of some of the instrumental work, sans vocals, if I can use my French. Yeah, and you'll get an idea of what that's about. You'll also see a little link underneath where you can buy at least our first Honey Wine album, and then our second one when
Down
it
the
arrives.
road.
Yeah, when we drop it.
Are we going to drop it?
I don't know.
Well, I think batter has been achieved. Good
Yeah,
job.
there it is.
Cake
So
batter.
We're gonna put it in the greased and floured cake tins.
Sure.
I've got to prepare better. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna cook it at 330, right?
Well, you know, the recipe calls for 350, but I'm going to do it in the convection oven. And here's the thing with the convection oven: your choices are either lower the temperature or shorten the bake time. But there's no formula, so it's a total guess. I set the convection oven to 335, and we're going to follow the regular bake time, but we might check it a couple minutes early.
Great. All right, so we're gonna pour this in and cook it for about 25 minutes or so.
Sure.
Right on.
Love
And
it.
then let those cool while we make the frosting.
See you in a bit.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so this is half of the cake. The other half is behind me on the stove.
They came out great.
Yeah. Well, they look good.
They look good. We
Yeah.
won't know until we have our tasters here whether they taste any good.
We'll find out. Looks like you're holding something.
I sure am, because we're about to make the chocolate buttercream frosting. Super excited about that, and very excited to show off the beautiful new measuring cups we got from Anne-Marie Bosser. Check these out. Look at that. This one holds a cup. What? There's a whole set of 4 of them. I can't wait. Now, there's a bit of a question because the instructions say use a handheld mixer or use a stand mixer with a whisk attachment. So does that mean I use the whisk attachment on the handheld mixer as well? I don't know. We're just gonna try it and see what happens. But it's basically just butter, confectioner sugar, unsweetened cocoa powder, and a couple of other little things like vanilla extract and salt, and some heavy whipping cream. But we're just gonna do this and see how it turns out, right, Jim?
I'm game.
Here we go. I know.
Thanks, Melinda. And check this out. The handle for this cup is the cat's tail. So our third cup of confectioner's sugar, I've put about a whole additional cup on the counter, on my pants, and on the floor. Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. We love them.
These are great. This is the half cup of the cocoa powder, unsweetened, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that? Again, I am holding the cup with the cat's tail, half cup. Pretty
Adorable.
pretty righteous. Here we go.
So we whipped the butter, we added the confectioner sugar, the cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and just a little bit of salt. And now I'm going to try to not make a mess. So Jim, we're making something that looks kind of dark and sweet, and we're going to put some music over this. Do you want to talk a little bit about this dark and sweet tune?
Now you'll notice that the honey wine link is underneath. I don't know if this is anywhere near where I'm pointing with my hand, but you know, who knows. And we are going to be playing this over the mixing of the frosting. This is an unusual one for us. It's a song that involves a viola, a guitar, and then a shruti box. And a shruti box is a harmonium that uses keys for chords rather than actual keyboard for notes. And so you can play one chord at a time. It has bellows. It's a drone instrument. It's kind of like a bagpipe. It's kind of like an accordion. And I want to thank Susan Shahada in particular for turning me on to the shruti box. Now, of course, I don't play it, but it's on the song that Dennis and I wrote.
And Jim bought it for me for my birthday.
I did. I bought it for Dennis for his birthday. And by the way, we haven't mentioned this because, you know, it was becoming unseemly, but if you want to send us anything, have at it.
Here we go. Like that, we have buttercream frosting, our first buttercream frosting. I love it, made from scratch. By the way, the whisk attachment for the hand mixer, the right idea. Melinda Hughes, thank you. We're gonna quickly get this ready and frost this cake because I don't know if you know this old chestnut, but oh my gosh, I dropped a fork. Company's coming, they'll be here in about a half an hour. This looks amazing and done barely in time. And we're going to serve it using this lovely cake slice. Thank you, Patty Matthews.
Thank you, Patty Matthews.
But look at this. It's a work of art. The buttercream smells really good. And we'll find out about that secret ingredient and whether it did its job.
Well, yeah, and even if the mayonnaise does come through, I think the buttercream will overpower it.
Well, and we want the mayonnaise basically to make the cake nice and moist. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, so fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All right, well, here we are. We have our taste testers this evening, and some of them you might remember. We have Maureen, who was here for the 2-ingredient pretzels. We have Steve, this is his first time, and we have Josh Will, who was at the taste testing for the pretzels, but did not actually taste the pretzels. So
it's a long story.
It's a long story. So we have the cake. We're going to cut it up, and then each one of them is going to take a bite, and they're going to tell us exactly what they think. And then we'll see if our little plan to bake differently worked. All right, so Maureen, you've done this before, so you know what we'd like is for you just to take a bite. We're going to film it, and then if you could offer your honest opinion, I might do some follow-up questions.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm getting a little of the icing, a little of the cake together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks lovely. Nice.
Really?
Mm-mm. The frosting has like a little kick to it.
Interesting.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
like a little salt.
It does have some salt in it.
A little
How about
salt.
that?
It's a
in the
classic
icing.
buttercream recipe,
Yeah.
which does have
Yeah.
salt.
And we didn't change the recipe for the frosting at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's very light and moist, and I think I got quite a bit of icing with that, so that was maybe the dominant.
Okay.
You know.
Now we had a discussion with a friend from Australia, Stephen Brooks, and he asked if we ever called frosting icing, and I said no, and yet apparently we do.
You know why I did that?
Mm.
Again, I'm tasting a little bit of the salt.
Interesting.
Interesting. I think I said frosting because I was on a cooking show.
Mm-hmm. No, but
And
you
I
said icing this time.
I said icing?
You said icing.
Because I usually say icing.
Well,
So if I said frosting, it was only to try to be fancy.
wow.
But I usually say icing.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Do you say icing?
I say
frosting.
I've never said
Oh,
icing,
I
unless
don't say icing.
you're like icing.
Ice the cookies,
Yeah.
icing on the cake, icing.
All
I
right.
don't know. Maybe that's a Midwestern thing.
I don't. Well, but anyway.
It's delicious.
Is there anything about it otherwise that you?
You just get just a little bit of the
Yeah,
cake.
that might be.
It's very moist and light. Maybe there's like a little lemon or like a little. There's definitely like a little kick thing, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know, but it's very good.
It will be revealed.
Okay,
Thank you. All right,
great,
good.
and it's okay for me to eat.
Well, please go on. Yeah.
That's
Great.
good. I'm
Okay,
glad.
great.
So, Steve, this is your first time.
It is.
So, anything you want to say? And again, you've heard Maureen, so there's
Sure.
going to be a little bit of
Sure. I
bias.
don't know whether I say icing or frosting. I think as far as if I have one favorite or
Yeah.
the other, I don't know if I say icing or frosting.
Maybe let's put it in a context. I'm going to be making some cupcakes. What should I put on the top?
Probably the icing. I think
Oh,
maybe that is what
there
I
it
say.
is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's a Midwestern thing. I say frosting.
Yeah, Stephen Brooks.
Oh, sorry. I should pan the camera
Would you
over so
please?
people know who's talking.
I apologize. I led you astray. So, Steve,
Yeah.
you want to try
Sure.
the
Sure. Let's try this. It's good.
Okay.
Tastes good.
Now, can you add a few more adjectives to
Sure.
that?
See if I can. Hang on. It's more dense than what I'm used to with cake,
Okay.
I think. There's really not, apart from the frosting icing,
Mhm.
there's really not a lot of flavor to me.
Okay. That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's a
good.
plain
It's more
cake.
texture
Yeah, yeah,
than flavor.
More texture than
Okay.
flavor. Yeah.
Great.
But there is some kind of zingy thing
Yeah.
at the very end.
Okay. Yeah, like an
Wow.
undertone.
Mm-hmm.
An after
Not an
right?
overtone. An undertone.
Yeah.
Well, at
Interesting.
the end.
A motif.
Yeah, sure. That.
All right.
But at the end, there's some kind of zing
Okay.
thing, yeah.
All right.
I see that you've been having some wine here.
And
Is
a
that-
glass of wine, yeah.
glass of wine, yeah. Did that help?
I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Steve.
Mm-hmm, thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your inaugural.
I
Yes.
appreciate it. Hope you ask me back.
Well, we certainly will.
All right, good.
Now we have Josh Will. Josh, you know the drill. If you would
Okay.
do that. would be great.
I'm a pie person.
Well,
Oh, well, that's now. It's ruined.
No, I'll get some of
Lord.
this cake and this liquid crust on the outside.
Oh, yeah,
Was that
he
what
calls
you
it
call
liquid
it?
crust, apparently.
Got a lot of the icing. I taste the salt in the
Mm-hmm.
frosting there.
Did you put a heavy amount of salt in it when I wasn't looking?
it was a heaping.
Oh, geez, I think it's
I'm
supposed
gonna
to be
do a
level.
little less with the smearing here. Good.
Can you say more?
More. I agree with Steve. It's more of a texture than a
Then a taste.
than a taste thing. It's
All right.
I don't know if that recommends the cake, but that's all right.
it's good. It wouldn't be. It's one of those cakes that you would eat and have another piece of. It's very good.
Excellent. Jim, are you going to try it now?
Actually, why don't you go?
Me?
first?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
trade
I'll
with you.
just pause the camera on Josh.
So Dennis, why don't you take a taste of this, please?
Right then, we've been watching Monty Python, and that's my really bad English accent. All right, here we go. Oh, it's really moist, yes. So it's good. We didn't do a stodgy, heavy cake. That's great. Number one. Sorry, Alma. Buttercream, classic chocolate buttercream frosting. I really like it.
And this was one you guys made? Not out of a can?
Made all scratch.
It's not stodgy.
No, do I taste it? I don't know that I taste salt, but maybe I don't have a salt palate. And I think, to me, the secret ingredient is undetectable, which I think is the point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's good.
All right. Thank you, Dennis.
Jim, you want to give it a shot?
I do.
All right, so we've heard from everyone else. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Jim.
So I'm going
Very
to
good.
give it a try here. And it cuts nicely.
Mm.
Again, Patty Matthews, thank you very much for the
Look at that cake slice.
Cake slice,
Ooh. Don't look at the cake cutting job. I didn't do so good.
Okay, you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready. Wow, Jim. This movie has to be under 20 minutes.
It's interesting that I think that the good thing about this cake is that you can't taste the thing that we went to all the trouble to do.
That's true. Don't tell him. Do you want to say if you liked it first?
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's good. I think that it's of all of our baking, I think it's up there with our better bakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right.
Go ahead.
Well,
Wait, can we guess?
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, and it's nothing extraordinary.
So this is guessing what the secret ingredient
Yeah.
is in the cake, not the frosting.
Right.
And it was a replacement.
Yep.
We replaced something.
Well, it's okay.
Well, oil and eggs and sugar.
Flour.
I think you replaced the sugar with something else that's sweet. Maybe stevia. That's
Wow.
my guess.
Okay. Steve,
Okay.
do you want to?
Sure. I think you replaced the flour with some other kind of flour, but I wouldn't be able to even begin to guess what that would be.
Okay. Josh.
I'm agreeing with Steve again.
All right.
Okay.
But I'm useless when it comes to this.
We didn't replace any of those things.
No.
Oh.
As it turns out.
No. There
It's actually a steak.
Yeah, right. We used animal blood in this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. We instead of using eggs, we used mayonnaise.
Oh my god, I was going to say that.
Oh.
Is that gross?
Angry that I
No,
didn't say that.
no.
Well, that's
I've done that.
mayonnaise is eggs and oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Well, you still got a really pretty nice rise on it.
That's because we were concerned that it was going to be too flat and kind of condensed.
No, there's a nice little air
Like
in there and stuff.
Hellmann's?
Did you
or
use-
Miracle Whip or
Kraft.
Kraft.
Kraft?
Yeah.
Like real mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Yeah, not salad
Miracle
dressing.
Whip.
Not
No.
salad. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
And do you use baking powder then?
We used baking.
Oh, yeah.
Baking
Mhm.
soda.
Just baking powder.
Baking powder, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was equal, so as much, what am I trying to say? As much, as many eggs you would put in, it was the same volume of mayonnaise you put in?
According to the internet. Yeah.
Well, you guys, maybe that's why it's not quite as yellow.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say anything when you mentioned the yolks because I was like, oh yeah, that's probably
I don't
because
know.
there are no yolks in there.
There would be nothing yellow
So-
to make it
No.
yellow.
Well, live and learn.
I think it's a delicious cake.
Oh, that's a win.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we wouldn't, I mean, none of us, that was not an eggless cake.
No.
Like we didn't, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Josh, Steve, and Maureen, for doing this.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to say since you're going to become famous on this YouTube channel?
Thanks.
Sure.
It's great.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
good.
you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really working hard getting
I'm
coming back, aren't you?
just-
Getting
yeah,
invited back.
I'd like to say that everybody here is an improviser.
Yeah.
It's-
Can't you
This
tell?
is hard. This is